You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
Hi, Kent. This is Brandy. I was at a conference recently, and I heard your talk about Remix. You had mentioned that you were all front-end and that you learned skills that led you to become full stack. And I think you even mentioned working on servers even that helped you to learn more about backend. So a couple of years ago, my company wanted everyone to work towards becoming full stack devs. And while they've been really great about letting us learn at our own pace, it's still been a struggle for me. I've tried jumping in on backend projects like I did with the UI, but I was left feeling overwhelmed just by a lack of understanding. That's hard to communicate when you just don't know what you don't know. I'm also a visual person, so I just like that visual payoff that Frontend has. And I wanted to reach out to you to ask if you could elaborate more on what learning path made the most sense for you personally, and if you also think that would be a good path for other front-end devs that are learning to become full stack. Thanks.
And that was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey there, Brandy. Thank you so much for the question and the vulnerability. I totally appreciate how difficult it can be sometimes to admit that you're not very good at something just yet. So I did do full stack when I was at PayPal. Or at least I did Node. I didn't do anything with databases or anything. So I at least had some experience with Node there. And then I've done a lot of tooling stuff that's all running in Node. So I think I had a bit of a leg up on the backend portion of things when I started working with Remix, which probably helped me quite a bit. But one thing that I really appreciate about Remix is that the code is shared between the UI. At least the UI code is shared between the front end and the back end, and then the backend code is literally just in the same file in the loader in action, and it all just kind of feels like using just writing JavaScript or TypeScript. And so I think if you want to learn how to, like if you're a front end engineer and you want to learn how to do backend, then playing with Remix and just building a couple of little mini projects with Remix is probably a good way to go. And the Remix docs have a couple of good starting points for you to get going with that. And if on the opposite end, if you're a backend dev wanting to learn front end, Remix is also a really good place to start because it does the same in the opposite direction. So yeah, as far as like other specific resources, I'm afraid that I don't have anything to recommend. I don't typically use resources myself. I just brute force learn things by building stuff. And so I'm afraid I don't really have too much to offer in that regard. Part of what I'm building with Epic Web is the resources that I will be able to recommend, but that is a long ways into the future. So this is probably not quite the answer that you're looking for, Brandy, and I'm sorry about that, but I do think that this is one situation where just spending time doing it can help a lot. And Remix, I think, is a really smooth on-ramp for that. So good luck, Brandy, and take care.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.